And we are live. Welcome to this episode of Wealthy Wednesday. Today's going to be fire. I'm so fired up. I just can't even believe that I absolutely got this guest because she is all over LinkedIn. I'm not even sure how she does it. She supports everybody. She supports me. She does her own show. And now here she is being a guest speaker on my event. I absolutely adore her. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We are live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn and YouTube. So let us know where you're tuning in from. This topic is going to be probably not what you expect. Okay. This topic is going to be something that if you're a woman or you know a woman, you love a woman, this is going to be the conversation for you. So come on in, grab your slippers. What are you drinking? I've got my green tea here. You're going to want to take notes and you're going to want to ask questions. I promise you, this is going to be an interactive one that you are absolutely going to want to ask questions on this one. So be ready, get your pen, get your pencil, and get your notepad. This guest speaker is somebody that I consider truly revolutionary. She discussed topics that are probably considered maybe a little bit more taboo, something that people all endure, but they don't talk about it. And that's menopause. She's our menopause mentor. That's a topic that many women struggle with. But who do we go to? Where can we have that safe conversation? She's made menopause into a common conversation. And she does it with so much grace, so much love, so much wisdom. And really, she is our menopause mentor. However, she's also what I would call just a nutritionist that is there for any of you, whether you're trying to upgrade your health, whether you're already in good health and you want to maintain your good health. If you are a woman, you love a woman, this conversation is absolutely for you. So please give it up for my incredible guest speaker, the great and one and only Miss Lisa Favec.
Hi, Leah. Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
I think I need you to hype me up before any of my speaking engagements.
I'd love to.
Do my intro for me.
I would love to. So for those of us who've been under a rock somewhere and don't know who you are, share a little bit about who you are.
So I am in the Caribbean. I live in Trinidad and Tobago, but we are worldwide, right? So I'm a dietitian, a diabetes educator, international best-selling co-author. I get to say that, and I'm seeing Nick, one of the publishers who made my dreams come true. And I'm a coach for women's health issues. But my focus, my passion, my purpose is really about perimenopause and menopause, bringing that awareness, bringing that education, talking about it as much as possible. This was World Menopause Month. So I've been talking about menopause nonstop, but it's just because, as you said, it's still very taboo in certain areas. Certain topics are still very uncomfortable. Even with our doctors, they're not trained in menopause. So we need to still have these conversations so that we could advocate for our own health.
Yeah. And our topic today, money and menopause, the hidden connection. What is that connection? We're going to take a deep dive, and I've got some personal questions I'm going to ask you. I'm going to get a little transparent here. I hope it's okay. You're my friends here, but you're not going to judge me. Okay, great. Because I want to make sure we're bringing value. And really, we have to open up this conversation. We have to be willing to have this conversation because if we're dealing with it, there are other people that are probably going through the same thing. So
exactly.
Kind of set the stage for us. Is there a connection between menopause and money?
Yeah, so you just mentioned that maybe someone else is going through it. So all women go through menopause, whether we deny it or not, we're willing to accept it or not. We may not have the same debilitating symptoms. Every woman's journey is unique, but we will all be in menopause until we die. And I think that is one of the myths women don't know. They think, okay, well, their periods stop and everything is going to be fine after. No, you can have symptoms into your 70s and 80s. So that means we have to look at that financial aspect. Who's going to take care of us? And not just the retirement part, but the healthcare part. And I think that is the biggest part that women don't look at really with that fine tooth comb. um, yes, you have certain checks you do every year, but as we age, as we get older, there are different things that will pop up, or risk for heart disease shoots up, or risk for type 2 diabetes goes up. Many women have cholesterol issues, heart issues, liver issues, and all of those things intertwine. So, catering for more healthcare checks, more blood tests, what's going to happen to us as we age, who's going to take care of us, are we taking care of other people, are we taking care of our own aging parents, our own children? Maybe we have what's the new word, pet babies, right, or pet children. All of these come with a cost. And if we're looking, okay, we're in our 40s and our 50s, all right, we have maybe 20 years at our job. What's our quality of life after? Can we maintain the life we have now? And that's why I love the conversations you all have. You have every Wednesday, Tuesday. You seem to be on LinkedIn every day, but I know your passion is sharing that information so that women aren't caught off guard, especially if their spouse passes. What do I do now? So I'm really happy to be here having a conversation.
Absolutely. And I want to highlight your comment that, Miss Nicole, we call her Nick around here, Guy Galindo, she's guiding brilliant writers. And I really believe that she's the brilliance behind her writers and that she made her dreams come true. I love that. I absolutely love that. And thank you for sharing that. And thank you for just pouring love into this beautiful soul, because that's what we really should do. I think so many times as women, we say that we're going to support each other, but how many times do we really help some and really shout each other out and attend our events and patronize our businesses? So I love that you did that. That speaks right to my heart. You're really like my soul sister. You really highlighted so many things. We're going to unpack this. And you're right that I didn't realize that we're going to be dealing with menopause until we die. So we gotta deal with it. That's the truth of the matter. We gotta deal with it because our bodies are going to be managing it in one way or mismanaging it.
Yes.
In most cases. And what I see is that the women are the caretakers.
Yeah.
Generally, the main caretakers.
Yeah.
Even if they're working, even if they have a full-time career, they're generally the one rearing the majority of the children, the majority of the time. They're the ones that are also caring for their aging spouses, right? That's just a lot of times in our nature, and we forget to care about ourselves. Those are kind of the blind spots. We just kind of think, hey, we can just grind it out. Yeah, we're feeling a little tired today, but you know what? Just you got to do it anyway. Pour that cup of coffee, do whatever you got to do, put the Band-Aid on and tough it out to be there for everyone else. But the truth of the matter is that only works for a while. And that's what I see oftentimes what you're alluding to is women suffering heart attacks, heart disease, cholesterol. I would venture to say probably even cancers, because a lot of cancers, what I've seen, are related to stress and just doing a lot of little things to care for us. It's attention to detail. So what are some of the blind spots that you see with women just in overall not caring for themselves at all?
Yeah, you mentioned taking care of aging spouses. So I had a lot of clients come in and say they would schedule their partner's health checks, their doctor's visits, their children's doctor's visits, making sure they had the right supplements. And then I said, okay, well, what about yours? And it's like they didn't even consider they needed to check themselves.
Right.
And it starts there. Okay, are you doing your health checks? Because in menopause, things start to creep up. So I have a lot of clients, and myself included, never had an issue with type 2 diabetes, never had an issue with uncontrolled blood sugars. Now, all of a sudden, you check your HbA1c, which is a check for type 2 diabetes, and the number is creeping up. You haven't done anything differently. You're eating well, you're exercising, and the numbers are still going up. Cholesterol issues, your blood pressure, you're not doing anything differently, and these numbers are going up just because you're in menopause. So a simple thing as in taking advantage of your company's health checks, or if you're an entrepreneur and you have to schedule them yourself, actually putting it on the calendar, because if you don't schedule it, it doesn't exist. In my word, with the brain fog and all the memory loss issues, if it's not written down, I don't remember it. So I actually have to schedule, okay, October is breast cancer awareness month. Maybe
Yeah.
use that time, since the ads are running and it's in my face all the time. Maybe use that as a trigger. Say, okay, October is breast cancer awareness month. I'm going to get my mammogram that time. November is diabetes awareness month. Okay, I'm going to go to the doctor and check my HbA1c. So we could find little tips and triggers to remind us. But it's so important that we do those health checks, because, again, planning for future. What is the quality of life you want? Are you able to take care of that aging spouse, your aging parents, your children, if you are not taking care of yourself? So
Yeah.
that's why I love the conversations you have. Even when we first met, I remember you saying that clients, their spouse dies and they don't know where the password for something was, for the bank account. And I was like, that even didn't even occur to me. So now I use your information to remind clients, listen, make sure you know where everything is, because if you're, and the man usually goes first, right? Generally speaking, the husband goes first. Do you know where passwords are? Do you know where the bank information is being stored? Just little things like that we need to start paying attention to.
Absolutely. I'm so honored that you use that. I love that. I want to welcome you, Linda. Thank you for joining us.
Hi,
Invite
Linda.
somebody, invite somebody else who needs to hear this conversation. If you have questions, comments, we want to hear from you. This is your time. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, go ahead and shout yourself out. People are looking for you and what you do.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I love toggling into something else. So Breast Cancer Awareness Month and having those reminders. Listen, I put reminders on my phone. Otherwise, it just doesn't really happen.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
happen.
that you know in advance. And when you're scheduling your children's annual checkups, but for the back to school and your husband's or your spouse's annual checkup, you have to schedule yourself. And it's
Yeah.
easy for us to just overlook ourselves.
Hmm.
It's just I don't know if it's in our nature or if it's cultural. I'm not really sure, but the bottom line is we have to make time for ourselves. We
Yeah.
just have, it's a mandate. It's a must. It's not a, if I have time, it's, I have to do it. I love my family, so I'm going to put myself first. I want to be there for my children and my grandchildren, so I have to put myself first. I love my husband or my spouse, so I have to put myself first regardless. And it takes time,
Mhm.
but it takes planning, but it's doable, right? It's doable. Like you
Oh,
make time for
yes.
everything else you want to do. So make sure you make that time to take care of your checkups.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, why is this that when we get older, that their numbers change, even when we're doing the same thing? What
Yeah.
happens chemistry wise?
Yeah. So it's because of those hormones that are decreasing and fluctuating, especially estrogen. So there are a number of hormones that decrease during our menopausal journey. And I call it a journey because every woman's experience is different. Many of us know, okay, we start with hot flashes. I never started with hot flashes, and I started in my 30s. The internet will say it's around 50. So keeping track of your symptoms is important, but also understanding that if your journey is different, we need to cater for those things. But as estrogen drops, estrogen is a hormone, and a hormone is a chemical messenger that tells the body what to do. So it will tell the body part, it will tell the brain what to do, it will tell the heart what to do. If your estrogen is dropping, then you literally don't have enough of the messengers to go around and tell the body parts what to do. So because those hormones are decreasing and then also fluctuating, so some days it will be on a very, be on a high, and you go get that blood test check and everything comes back normal, which is why we don't do blood tests when we're in perimenopause. And some days it's on a very low, but we don't know which day is when. So what we do is we cater for the symptoms. We look at the symptoms, determine if we're in menopause, and then do the appropriate treatments to cater for those. But generally speaking, we have all those, whether it's losing hair, growing hair in other parts that we don't want it to grow, gaining weight, all the pain, the joint pain, the muscle pain. I started with a toothache, so any sort of pain, all of those things happen because of the hormones dropping, fluctuating wildly. The body is just not getting the right message. So there are things we can do for that. Again, this is where our healthcare comes in, healthcare providers getting the right coaches sometime as well. Because as again, every woman's journey is different. So we need different things that will support us.
Yeah, that's so good. So they need to go ahead and get that annual checkup and just be aware as things start to change that, hey, it's probably the estrogen that is dropping. So I think
Yeah.
this is a good time for me to kind of share my story here.
Yes.
Because I've been very curious about this. Now, when I first met you, you talk about menopause, I'm like, gosh, I don't even have menopause. I don't even think about that. I had a hysterectomy when I was 39, I think. So that was like 2 or 3 days ago. Just kidding. No, it was a long time ago. And I haven't gone through the hot flashes or anything like that, not really having any real, that I'm aware of, real symptoms. What are some things that somebody who's had a hysterectomy, now my ovaries were left in, so
Okay.
I don't know what that all entails, but if somebody's had a hysterectomy, what should they be looking out for?
Yeah. So if you've had a full hysterectomy, meaning your ovaries and uterus were removed, or in your case, you had a partial hysterectomy, so just the uterus was removed. With a full hysterectomy, you go into menopause one time. Your body is shoved into menopause. So there's no natural progression, there's no natural decrease in hormones, straight into menopause. So the very next day. And this is where doctors sometimes forget to mention that to clients, to their patients, because they start having to deal with the trauma of being in that very major surgery. Your body needs to heal, it needs extra nutrients to heal. A lot of times, patients don't get the right nutrients for that healing. And then their body is also shoved into menopause. So, right away, a woman could start experiencing all the 100+ symptoms that you could get on your menopausal journey.
Wow.
With your partial hysterectomy, you said you didn't have the hot flashes. What I would say is, one, congrats, lucky you. Woman who technically you still had your ovaries in, so technically you're still having the hormones being produced. Many women still go into menopause. Maybe it's because of the trauma of that surgery, we're not really sure. But many women still go into menopause. They may not start with the hot flashes, but like I said, if there are over 100 symptoms, you could be having digestive issues. Maybe you're more nauseous this time. Maybe you're having more constipation. Maybe your skin changed. Maybe you're having brittle nails. So there are a lot of things that we get, sometimes more headaches. And we say, okay, maybe we didn't drink enough water. Maybe we didn't sleep enough. And we dismiss these things, not knowing, no, you actually started your menopausal journey. You just didn't start with the symptoms that are common, or didn't start with symptoms that derails your quality of life. But once you've had a hysterectomy, most times it's straight into menopause.
Wow. I had no idea. My doctor said nothing to me. Now, thankfully, I did not have any issues, but
Exactly.
I know many women who've had full hysterectomies, and I don't know that the doctor ever mentioned a thing to them.
No, because they
And
don't know. They didn't get that training.
how could they not know? Like they're taking out our parts and they don't know what they're doing. Like what? That doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
there's no course. I mean, if they did a semester where they mentioned menopause, they were lucky. Usually they have to specialize in menopause, and that's not just America, that's worldwide. They're not trained in menopause. Luckily, these things are changing. The more conversations we have about it, and the more the world realize, listen, if all women are going to enter into menopause, this is something we need to look at. We need to change the healthcare system. We need to change the training. Luckily, we're having this conversation now. These things are happening. So maybe in the next 5 years, 10 years, that will change. But in the meantime, we need to be our own advocates. We need to have these conversations more. So if you're listening live, listening on the replay, take the information back to your homes, to your friends, work colleagues, and have that conversation. Don't be afraid of it, because the reality is we're all going to end up in menopause. Some men also end up in male menopause, so andropause it's called, but we're all ending up where we need to do our health checks. It's going to affect our quality of life. It's going to affect our family life. It's going to affect how we are at work, our productivity, how we plan for the future. So it's a conversation that is not just for the woman in a bubble. It's affecting all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. The women are the ones that, if they're not, what do they say? Happy wife, happy life. I
Yes.
don't know, not married, but that's what I heard back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we really do have to be more aware. So all of those things that you're saying, I can say I've not seen any of that, thankfully.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I still eat fast food. I love Kentucky Fried Chicken. I go to do KFC. I mean, not every day, but I do still eat
And
fast
that's
food.
fine. I think we need to change how we perceive food and not think it's, if I eat KFC today, well, I was a bad person or something terrible is going to happen. If you're eating a balanced diet, let's say 80% of the time, you can still have your favorite snack foods, fast food, whatever. But as you said, you don't have it every day. Your choices, your lifestyle choices, your habits, what you do consistently is what really determines the quality of life.
Yeah, I think I've been very fortunate to have relatively good health. I don't
Yeah.
know that I'm in perfect health, but I don't have high blood pressure, cholesterol, like all the things that people
Yeah.
normally do. But I'm very aware of myself. I'm very aware of my body. I do a lot of check-ins. I meditate a lot. I take walks on the beach. So I'm constantly monitoring. Am
Yeah.
I drinking enough water? How is this impacting me? Hey, I feel a little funny today. What did I eat today? So I do a lot of that kind of reflective. And I
Yeah.
think that's the thing that takes the time, that might be a little bit of a blind spot. I'm blessed to be in a business where I make my own schedule. So if I need
Yeah.
more time, I can go ahead and modulate that. I do allow myself that also. And understanding that if your body needs more rest, then listen to your body and maybe need that more rest, and try to figure out what's happening that you need that more rest. Like, what's going on with you?
Yes.
One thing I would love for you to touch on, I've heard you talk about this a few times, is some of the things that we eat aren't really, like for our good health, aren't really getting into our metabolism because we're not partnering them properly. You talked about turmeric. I love turmeric. I use turmeric a lot. I put turmeric tea. I heard that's supposed to be good for you. But then you said, well, if you're not partnering it or pairing it with these things, then it's
Yeah.
probably not. So talk a little bit about those things.
Yeah. So when it comes to your nutrition, the first place to start is with your plant-based foods. So if 80% of the time you're eating more plant-based foods, and what I mean by that is your fruits, vegetables, peas, beans, nuts, seeds, and your whole grain foods. So provisions, oats, brown rice, whole grain pasta, whole grain breads. If your diet is mostly of those foods, and if you choose to eat meat, do more chicken breast and fish. It's lower in saturated fat, more omega-3s, etc. If your diet 80% of the time are those foods, and then you incorporate those herbs and spices, which most people use them for flavor, but they have so much nutritional benefit. A lot of times more nutritious than fruits and vegetables. So, for example, ground clove has higher antioxidant levels than most fruits.
Ooh.
So, let's say we have some oats in the morning. We can cook it with some dates. Dates don't spike your blood sugar. And remember, I said being in menopause affects your blood sugar levels. So half cup of oats, old fashioned oats, so you get more fiber. Cook it with some dates. If you want to add milk, fine. I would always suggest soy milk because certain foods have more estrogen levels. So remember, I said The reason why we go into menopause is because we're losing estrogen. There are some foods that give us back a low dose of estrogen to help. So soy products, ground flax seeds, sesame seeds, adding more of those foods. But in those oats, I can add more turmeric. Turmeric is a good antioxidant, helps with lowering risk of heart disease, cancers, etc. But turmeric doesn't absorb well into the body unless we have some black pepper, and it's even better with a source of fat. So the fat in the soy milk can count as that fat for the turmeric to be absorbed. If you've ever heard of something called golden milk, it's from India. So they take coconut milk, which is high fat, but boil it with turmeric and lots of spices, cardamom, cloves, cinnamon. So you're getting all the health benefits of those. If you add maybe a little bit of honey, combination of honey and cinnamon is extra beneficial, so even more health benefits. And you drink that at night in a very calming way. So you talked a lot about stress reduction. So ending the night where we're not looking at the screens, not scrolling on social media, because our brain needs to get the signal to rest. If we're still scrolling, it's still processing information. Having a cup of that golden milk, maybe reading, maybe journaling, maybe listening to some music, whatever works for you, is a great way to de-stress, lower those hormones that are affecting us, and just set us up for a nice restful sleep, which then leads to less menopausal symptoms like hot flashes and night sweats.
I love that because that's all the things that I love, flaxseed seed and, honey, cinnamon. I have
Yeah.
really great honey dealer. It's my honey dealer. I only go to this one perfect honey, raw, they organic, and they flavor it. It's really beautiful. It's from Reclaim Beehive. So it's really, and it's
Okay.
so that's my honey dealer. She knows she sees me, and I load up on my honey. So I love that. Those are all brilliant. And pairing the turmeric with black pepper and also adding that fat in there is really, really beautiful. And I want to highlight this comment by Miss Chesda. I just saw her in my previous live. Yes, you guys, if you just saw me live, you're right. I was there. I was in the metaverse. We were talking about money and dynasty, and now we're talking about menopause. So we're doing the M words today. Okay, so here we go. And I don't know if you can see this entire comment, but what I want to highlight is that right now, like a lot of women are struggling with insomnia. Now, I would say for me, I have always really only slept 5 or 6 hours a night.
Okay.
And so I used to, when my kids were little, what I would do is I would be up till 11, 12 o'clock cleaning my house. Yes, I was. And I don't talk about like dusting. I'm talking about I was doing laundry. I was cleaning the oven. I was shampooing the carpet. The kids would get up. The entire house would be reorganized. And then I'd go to sleep about 12 and I'd get up at 6. Okay. That was just kind of how. And now I understand that that's just, I don't know that that's good. A lot of people have told me you need to sleep more. That's just how my body's wired. Like last night, I put myself to sleep early because I had an early day yesterday and I had an early morning this morning. And I went to sleep about 10, but I was up at like 4. I mean, I'm just up 3:30, 4 o'clock. So touch on that. Let's talk about insomnia and what do I need to do? Am I doing it wrong? Break it down for us. Tell us the real deal. Come on, Lisa, bring us the real stuff.
So sleep is something many women struggle with. Even if you're not in menopause, just the day-to-day tasks that you have. So you talked about having young children. Many women put the house in order when the children are asleep because that's when they have the free time. So their sleep is now shifted to accommodate what they have to do in their work life or their home life. That's normal. I think once you're getting restful sleep and you're not waking up exhausted, you're not waking up with brain fog or any sort of mental incapacities, that's working for you, that's totally fine. Remember, every woman's journey is different. So if 6 hours works for you and has worked for years, that's your body's pattern. To tell you to change now is going to be really difficult. And then changing now will probably cause the insomnia. So if 6 hours is what's working for you and 12 to 6 is your time and you're waking up refreshed and you're ready to go, which I've seen you on Eric's Monday shows, you're always ready to go, right? So I think you're
Right.
fine. But
Yeah.
I just tell women, don't worry about what other people say, what is working for you, because your life is different. Your challenges are different, what you have to deal with, um, money wise, home wise, the support you're getting, everything is different. So, what is going to work for you? Okay, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to sleep fine, but I get up in the night. Okay, why are you getting up? Is it that your mind is racing and you're thinking about stuff? Okay, how do we deal with that? For some women, I've had a couple clients these past 2 months do a brain dump before they go to bed. So whatever the boss told them, whatever their partner told them, or they didn't like when they came home and they saw something and it just pissed them off, get it all out, write it down. It doesn't matter how you're spelling words, your penmanship, you're just trying to empty your brain so that you're not ruminating over it as you go to bed. Because many women lie down in bed and they just start thinking and thinking and thinking and analyzing and overanalyzing. Many times, if before you go to bed, you just empty your brain and write everything out, and then you take that and rip it to shreds. I've had some women burn it because it's a physical release of all of those negative thoughts. They were able to sleep better. Did it happen in the first week? Of course not. But over the months, their bodies got accustomed to emptying out that negativity. And then as they lay in bed, they thought of one thing they were grateful for. I had an extra glass of water today. It could be as simple as that. I added some leaves of lettuce to my plate. I parked further from the building and I walked up the stairs. One thing that you're grateful for. They went to bed calmer and they woke up in a space of love and gratitude and not thinking of the negative things because they went to bed thinking more positively. And the more you do those things, studies show that the more positive you are, you actually experience those menopausal symptoms less. So, for example, if you have hot flashes and they're about an 8 out of 10 pain wise, when you're more positive and the more you work on that, the next month they tested, it went down to a 4 or a 5 because they were always focused on the positive. Nothing else in their life changed. They didn't change their diet or anything like that. Just thinking more positively, emptying out that negativity. You talked about walking on the beach. So walking in nature, walking barefooted in nature helps. But if you're not able to do that, fine. Walking on the beach, just changing the environment can do wonders to your stress levels. And all of those things help you experience those menopausal symptoms less. And it just helps with your overall health and well-being. So when you check those numbers for blood pressure and cholesterol, they're actually going down just from you taking steps to reduce your stress.
That is all fire. And I can relate because I really believe that a lot of people talk about a morning routine, which of course I have a morning routine, but it's really the bookends. We got to have a
Yes,
strong morning routine, but I believe the morning routine starts with the evening
it
routine.
starts the
I
night
have
before.
a very
So,
stringent, I would say morning, more of an evening routine than I do with the morning routine. I mean,
mhm.
I have a good morning routine. Listen, if I can get on the beach, which I do that pretty often, hey, that like starts out my day with some gratitude,
Yes,
walking on the beach, getting in the sand, dipping my toes in the water,
yeah,
doing some martial arts, like all that stuff.
yeah.
But I would say, really, for me, the evening routine is so critical. If
Mhm.
I don't have an evening routine, you're right, I will not sleep well. It's that time when I say, I don't really need to take a shower. And then I'm kind of tossing and turning. Oh, I don't
Mhm.
really need to get into my, warm jammies that I enjoy. I'll just sleep in. No, stop it. Take the
Yeah.
time to do those things for yourself. Carve it out. Put it down in writing. Prepare yourself.
Mhm.
Put the tea aside. put the TV aside. If you're a TV person or you're all on your electronics, schedule it so that you have a date with yourself for the routine that you're going to do, and taking that care with yourself, you will sleep better. But it's finding that kind of a vibe for you. I love to download my day. Dr. Benjamin Hardy says, never end a day till it's finished on paper. So I go through the things that I did well, 3 things I did well,
Yeah.
3 things I could improve on. And I think this is a really key to what you're sharing.
Yeah.
And if I have something that went a little wonky that day that I didn't feel good about, I rewrite the script.
Mm-hmm.
And this is excruciating, guys. I'm not going to say that I'm perfect at this, but I find it so cathartic and it's been so life transformational.
Yeah.
My mentor calls it scratching the record player. So rewrite the script the way that you wanted that to happen. And then I can kind of disconnect and let it go. Otherwise, I will be ruminating over it, right? So
Yes.
this way I can focus on something different, and then 3 gratitudes. And then the top 3 for the next day. What are the top 3 things that I have to do? But doing that, and I'm not saying that everyone should do that. It takes some time, you guys. And then I do some other things.
It's up building that habit. Yeah.
Yeah, I give myself a foot massage. There's different things that I do, but taking that self-care, even though I don't sleep a lot, generally I'm sleeping really sound.
Yeah.
And I recognize that if I get up, I can often reflect back that I probably didn't go through that routine. There was something that was in the background of my mind, or I was on the, I was still on the, I don't watch TV, but, electronic things. Sometimes I have late meetings with my team and things like that. So it's really taking that time to care for us and finding that vibe that works for us.
Yeah, I love what you shared about writing those 3 things down that you didn't really like and you want to change that script. I think that's so important. And many women, especially during menopause, it's a lot of blame, it's a lot of shame, and they focus on, okay, maybe I blew up on my children, or I talked badly to my spouse when I didn't mean it. But they stay in that space instead of saying, okay, I'm writing it down. And it does help to write because it gets it out of your brain. Okay, I argued with my husband today and I didn't mean it, or I said something to him that I didn't mean. How can I fix this? So don't take it from a space of blame and shame, and I did something wrong and I'm always doing it wrong, and why can't I be better? Okay, how am I going to change that? Do I go the next day and apologize? Do I figure out, okay, where did that trigger come from? Maybe it's something in my past or something I'm working on that I need to change. Maybe I need to sit with my family and say, listen, right now I'm going through menopause. I'm going to have days that I'm going to react badly or in a way that I never expected to. Please give me some grace, but also remember you have to go back and apologize to them. And I think once we write that and reframe and rescript, what are we going to do differently? That helps with getting that stress level down so that we can get that restful sleep. And I'm saying if you're getting 6 hours, you're doing great. I have a lot of clients would kill for 6 hours, right? They would kill for 6
People have
hours.
been telling me, there was this LinkedIn audio room and the guy was talking about sleep. He's like, oh my God, I went up on stage. I remember, because I've had people tell me this for years, you need to sleep more. And I'm like, but do you see how busy, I'm active. I'm not, I don't, you've seen me at 4 a.m. I don't look sleep.
You have too much energy, enough to share.
I totally am fine with that. I promise you.
Yeah.
But it always makes me wonder, okay, as I get older, am I going to age more mature, prematurely, or am I doing something detrimental to myself? And I want to highlight a few of these comments here. And I definitely would love your feedback. So Miss Nick said, oh my goodness, over 100. There's over 100.
It's about 120, 130, somewhere around there. I lost count.
And she says that her sleep's interrupted by night sweats. What can you share?
So that's definitely something we could look at because there are many triggers for that. So something you talked about, if you miss your bath at night, that throws you off. So a simple thing as having a hot bath and going into a cool room triggers your body to fall asleep. As simple as that. of course, it's a habit that you have to build to tell your body repeatedly, we're ready to sleep now. But it could be as simple as not lowering your body temperature enough. Sometimes even the bedding that you're using is the wrong material, your pajamas is the wrong material, you're still having things in your brain that you haven't gotten rid of. So there can be many causes for that, and that will trigger insomnia and night sweats. So those are some of the things I look at. I literally walk through their night schedule to see where can we adjust, where can we change, and it's again not from a place of blame. You're doing it wrong. Why did you set up this habit in the first place? No. How can we change to give you back the quality of life you want?
That's amazing. I love that you're giving me that grace to step into who I am and stop worrying about what other people are thinking about, right?
Exactly.
They think I need 8 hours of sleep. They just don't know me. Okay, follow me
Yeah,
and you'll figure it out. So
exactly.
this is brilliant. I love this comment by our Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers. If you don't know her, she does our Mind Over Matter Mondays at 7 a.m. Pacific, and also our Think and Grow Rich study on a deep dive. She's the master of Think and Grow Rich, and she's actually giving us a treat right now where she's going over her goal setting class that she normally charges for, and she does charge for. She's going to have a class in December. I've already got it on my calendar. I'm going to require my entire team to attend. This is a great comment, is that these patterns, especially if they're new habits, you don't have to do it every day. You can do it every other day in the beginning.
Yeah.
And what will happen is you're going to build that muscle up. It's like anything, it's an atrophy muscle right now. And maybe because my evening routine, you guys, is pretty extensive. Okay. It's sort of my morning routine. I'm not gonna lie to you. I get up at 6 and I like to get to the office by 10 to be ready to go. Okay. So it's hours. Not everybody has hours. I'm very blessed to be able to do that. I understand that. I love to take an hour walk on the beach in the morning. Not everybody has an hour in the morning.
Yeah.
However, I find that I do a lot. I'm very active. So I have to really do some things for some self-care. If you don't have that, carve out 15 minutes. 15 minutes, what is something you can do for yourself? Have that cup of tea in silence without TV. Put the beautiful things in there. Get a beautiful cup. Don't just toss it in any old thing.
Oh,
Have
yes.
a special cup that is ornate for you. Maybe you've had it made for yourself, or you pick it up and it's very special to you, and use that special thing. I think that when we use those things, for me, I find that when we surround ourselves with those beautiful things and we start to feel more, not just beautiful, but more like we're taken care of, right? We're really taking time with ourselves.
Yeah, as simple as when we're journaling, getting a pen that flows nicely. As simple as that. I have had clients who never journaled before, didn't think they could do it. Once they got something nice to write in and to write with, now it's like they've been doing it for years. So just taking a little time to say, okay, I want to drink more water. If I buy a really nice bottle or a nice cup with some extra decorations, would that help me drink more? Yes. Then invest in it. Don't think of it as a waste of money, because what is the end goal? To drink more water.
Right.
That will give me more health benefits, so that down the road, I don't have to spend money on health tests and medical bills and stuff, because I'm drinking more water, because I made that investment in myself.
Yeah. And actually, I'm not up at 4 a.m. I get up at 2:30 because it is a live and I have to do my hair and makeup. So yeah, I know it's crazy. I am up
Yeah,
at 2
I know.
o'clock and then we
I'm
go
not doing
live
that.
for Motivation Monday. I know people say I'm crazy, but you know what? Crazy people rule the world. So if you
Yeah,
do what
and it's a
others
great show. Yeah,
won't, you can have what others don't. That's what I say.
yeah.
Um, what I'd love to kind of, as we're winding down here, I want to make sure that we get everything in. So what are some things, some connections people can make? And I love that our topic is that money and menopause, the hidden connection, right? The secret connection. I believe that our self-worth really does impact our net worth. If we don't take our care for ourselves and we don't believe that we are worth that time, then we really are going to have low identity and we're not going to step into the wealth that we're meant to embrace. Because I believe that all of us are here to be freaking stinking wealthy. Okay. That's me. I believe it.
Yeah,
I'm blessing all of
agreed.
that. So what are some of those hidden connections that we need to make sure we touch on?
I think the good thing about being in menopause is that it gives us clarity on where we want to go, who we want to be, what do we want to do for the rest of our lives.
Right.
Many women realize they're not in the profession they want to be in, they don't enjoy their job, or maybe they want to start something else. They're fine with the job they have because it gives them that affordability of the healthcare, that part, but they want to start a side hustle for that passion that they have. So, whatever it is, this is the time, even if you've never done it before, to figure out what do I want the rest of my life to look like and what is going to get it for me to get there. So,
Right.
I want to start a new business. Okay, so do I need to up level my skills? Do I need to go back and get another certificate? um, I want to travel. Okay, so how much do I need to put aside every month to save up for my vacation? I have to start taking care of my mom. She has to move in with me. Okay, what are the resources I need now to accommodate that? So, taking stock of where am I now? Where do I want to be in the next 5 years, 10 years when I retire? Am I going to live in the same place? Can I afford the rent? Because again, every time as the years go by, we're going to have more healthcare costs that we're going to have to put aside money for. So, can I put aside money and be comfortable with doing those healthcare checks and still live the life I want to live now? What do I need to get there? And if I don't know those answers, then I hire somebody like Leah to help me get there. So, I think no matter where you are, even if you're not in menopause, okay, what life do I have now? Am I comfortable where I am? Is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? And if the answer is no, what is it going to get me there? And sort of writing that out, and what resources do I need for each step, and what's the cost of it? Who's going to help me? If I have to pay for a coach, what is the cost of a coach right now? And you plan for those things.
That is so brilliant. And we have to pay the price. It might be free, but there's always a price. If
Yeah.
we don't invest in our good health now, we're going to pay the price later. That's all there is to it. We're going to have maybe you don't live less, but you're going to have less life in your living because you're not going to be able to get up and run around with your precious grandchildren. That's one thing that inspires me to take care of myself is that when my precious grandson comes to visit, we're running all over the beach. Like we were body surfing, chasing waves. It was like
I'm
he was
seeing the
without a
pictures
little
on
bit.
the post. I'm like, how does Leah do 3 shows a day and then go run with her children, her grandchildren? Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
wow.
But if I was having a lot of health issues, a lot of feet issues, listen to me, ladies, or everyone, take care of your feet.
Yeah.
Take care of your feet. Go get pedicures. Go get manicures. Even if you're a guy, it's okay. Don't put the
Oh, yes,
polish
yes. Please, if you're a guy, please go. Please.
on. But our foot care is so neglected.
Yeah.
And if your feet are not healthy, you're going to have a hard time walking and being energized or being able to be energetic. And it comes from, the feet not being in good care. And then I think for me, it's everyone needs to know how to properly fall. I do martial arts. I know you do too, Lisa. I see seniors who don't know how to fall and they break their wrist, they break their hip, right? And you see that their health deteriorates. Whew, this has been a lot of good stuff, a lot of golden nuggets. How can somebody start if they just say, I'm taking care of the kids. I don't have hours in the morning. I don't have hours in the evening. What is the one habit that they need to start with so that they can start building from there? Like our Queen Dr. Leslie said, maybe we don't do it every day, but we do it every other day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to take this self-care. Or
Yeah.
even if, I don't know, I would even ask, can they do it Tuesday, Thursday, right? Start out with it 2 days a week.
Yeah.
What's the one habit you say that every woman needs to implement?
Yeah. So in my programs, what I look at is three pillars: nutrition, physical activity, and mindset. So let me give you a tip for each one. Under mindset, we talked about emptying your brain at night, doing that brain dump, doing that journaling. And there are lots of tips online. There are a lot of coaches on LinkedIn as well that you could tap into to figure out what's the best way for that. But I think what you suggested, what was I not happy with today? What could I have done better? And can I implement that the next day? So if I had an argument with my husband, okay, I didn't really like that. What could I do differently tomorrow? And then writing down one thing that I'm grateful for. So that helps with the mindset. When it comes to physical activity or movement, and I don't like the word exercise, it brings a lot of anxiety to persons. They think you have to join a gym. No, physical activity, movement. What can I do today? Can I throw on my three favorite songs? And a song is roughly 4 minutes. Can I dance for 15 minutes? Right? You talked about falling. Can I go on YouTube and look for a video that shows me balance exercises? So in the kitchen, while I'm stirring my pot, I can stand on one leg and see how long I could stand for. That helps with building balance, as simple as that. And when it comes to nutrition, what's one thing I could add to my plate to make it healthier? So we eat 3 meals roughly. What's one thing I could add to my plate? Can I take some lettuce leaves and add to the plate? As I'm rushing out the house, can I grab a cucumber? And when I get to work, I'll rinse it and cut it up on my plate. So just what's one thing I could add to my plate to make it healthier? And if you start with those twice a week, like you suggested, you can build from there.
Yeah, I love that. Cucumber's a great little grab and go kind of thing,
Yeah.
and sprinkle on some turmeric and some lemon. I don't know. That's how I like it. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm going to add some black pepper on it too, so I
Black
get that.
pepper, a little salt, so we call it a chow. It's like a little seasoned snack. We can make a chow out of everything. So
There you
take
go.
pineapples, chopped pineapples and cucumbers, a little salt, a little black pepper, a little
Ooh,
turmeric. Man, best snack and great for children as well.
ooh, I love that. That's my new pairing. I love pairings. Okay, pairings to
Yeah.
me on bomb.com. How about, oh gosh, there was one more thing I wanted to ask you about. Shoot, it was really good too that I wanted to know. Oh, hopefully I'll grab it. Those are great, great tools. So is adding something to your plate, emptying your mind, and then do something physical. It doesn't mean you have to go to the gym, but take a walk around the block, put on your favorite music, just do something so that you're getting some activity.
Just move your body. You're doing household chores, do it to music.
Mhm.
And listen to your body. Okay, that felt like too much. Let me take a 15-minute rest and see how I feel. Okay, too much today. I'll do the rest tomorrow. And that's fine. Nobody will die if the room isn't 100% clean. Okay, we need to give ourselves some love and grace and realize it's okay. Things aren't 100%. It's okay.
Yeah, see, going back, I wouldn't do that. I would have hired a housekeeper, but that's what I did at the time, right? I think
Yeah,
I spent way too much time cleaning my house. No, I know I spent too much time cleaning my house. But anyway,
yeah.
had 4 kids. I'm a neat freak. So anyway, there you go.
Yeah, but
I
that
remember
works
the
too. So
question.
that's fine. Yeah.
I remember the question. Recently, I have been leaning into fasting. What are your thoughts about fasting?
So intermittent fasting is all the buzz right now. It does work for some women, and intermittent fasting just means you're changing the window of time that you're eating. So if you start breakfast at 7 and your last meal is at 7 and you're fasting for those hours from 7 in the night to 7 in the morning, that's intermittent fasting, right? So it doesn't have to be very restrictive. For some women, especially if you have weight management issues, it can work. However, remember I said menopause also raises a risk for uncontrolled blood sugars leading to type 2 diabetes. So if you're a diabetic or you have uncontrolled blood sugar, so maybe you're in pre-diabetes, you have to be really careful about that intermittent fasting because your blood sugar could drop too low, and that's talking about a hospital visit, right? That's dangerous. So if you have weight control issues, weight management issues, I would suggest talking to someone like myself before you try intermittent fasting, because a lot of times when you check the influencers that are doing it, they're in the gym regularly.
Right.
Most of the times it's men that talk about it, but they're younger and they're in the gym, they live in the gym. That's not your lifestyle, then it's not going to work for you. So figure out where you are at, what works for you. Maybe move your breakfast to 10 o'clock from 7 to 10 and shift your last meal to 6 p.m. at night and see how you feel. If you're starving in the middle of the night, then something is off. That intermittent fasting is not working for you for some reason. Maybe you're not eating enough during the day, or maybe it's just not right for your body at this time. We need to try other things, make sure your hormones settle, and then maybe explore that in another 6 months. But again, journal, write down those symptoms. Try it from 10 to 6. If it's not working, get the help of a healthcare provider to make sure what you're experiencing is the right thing, especially if you have a lot of health conditions. Even if you're not in menopause and you already have diabetes or you already have heart issues, I
Right.
wouldn't try intermittent fasting on my own. Talk to a healthcare provider first.
That's great advice. And I love this comment for Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers. Choose one thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about a lot of different things here. Pick the one that resonates with you. Is
Yeah.
it adding something to your plate? Is it dancing for, 4 songs? Or maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's just dancing with one song.
Yeah.
Maybe it is, downloading your day. Maybe you're just taking that 15 minutes with that beautiful cup of tea. I talk about tea because I love tea. I think that
Yes,
everyone
I love
should.
it.
Um,
Yeah.
but drinking something that soothes your soul, maybe it's the golden milk with all the added
Mm-hmm.
wonderful things in it, or
Yeah.
maybe it's just something else that you enjoy. There's sleepy time tea, there's all kinds of
Mm-hmm.
chamomile, all kinds of different
Yeah.
things. Doing something that is caring for you and do it consistent, and then you can add something
Yeah.
else. But it doesn't do any good to find all these things, and now I'm going to have a 5-hour evening routine, and then you don't do any of it. Don't do what I'm doing. Like, I understand I'm doing crazy things. However, I can schedule my own business. If you have a boss and if I had to be at work by 8 o'clock, that would be rough.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
that early one day a week. I don't do it every day. Okay, don't get it
Mm-hmm.
twisted. I don't get it every day. But it's just really finding the things, the one thing to take care of yourself, and then building on it from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I think starting where you are and add one thing every week, that's a good place to start. And it doesn't bring the overwhelm. And being overwhelmed brings the anxiety, brings depression, and then triggers menopausal symptoms, other menopausal symptoms. So you don't want to go there.
Yeah, that's good. And here you go. You've already impacted one person. She's listening. I have to do the brain dump at night. She says,
Yeah.
lays there thinking, and I think most people kind of ruminate on it. If I
Yep.
don't download my
And
day,
menopause triggers that ruminating. It triggers it. Yeah.
yeah, and if I don't do that, I can't go to sleep. And then I realize, oh, because I'm not perfect, you guys.
Hmm.
Sometimes you get tired and you go to bed and you're like, oh gosh, I can't go to sleep. Oh, I didn't write down. I have to get up and finish it because
Yeah.
otherwise it will kind of be there festering and lingering around.
Hmm.
Well, you made a
Exactly.
lot of new friends and fans. People are going to want to reach out to you. You are our menopause mentor. How do they reach you? Where can they get in touch with you?
So I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, maybe a little too much time on LinkedIn, but it's such a great community. So you can just go to my profile. There's a link for a free menopause consultation where we'll just do a deep dive into what you're experiencing and how I could help right away. You could send me a DM. I have a newsletter every Wednesday. So today's newsletter is out about embracing your inner badass. We had a really great conversation on a LinkedIn Live yesterday.
Great.
So you can connect with me through the LinkedIn Lives every other Tuesday, the newsletter on a Wednesday, or go to my profile and schedule a consultation.
Yes, and then you also have a show on, what is it, on Tuesdays?
Yeah, that's what I was saying just now. So yesterday was the last show
Okay.
about embracing it in a badass. Next 2 weeks is the next show, where we'll actually be talking to the men in our lives to find out how they can support us. So that will be a really interesting show.
That will be fun. And make sure
Yeah,
you put your
that'll be fire.
comment, your link in the comments so people can connect with you on LinkedIn. If you're on YouTube, we love you, YouTube. Come on over to LinkedIn. You got to check it out. We have a lot of fun here. If you're on Facebook, we love you, Facebook. Come on and connect with us over here on Facebook. We have a lot of fun here. It's a pretty cool opportunity for you to connect with some people and really shout out who you are. So thank you so much, Lisa. I always enjoy our conversations. I appreciate you. I'm so thankful for our collaboration and our connection. And we never would have met if it were not for LinkedIn. So look
Yes.
at the amazing, wonderful people that you can connect with and meet if you open up. Get your LinkedIn profile set up. Okay, you got to have the LinkedIn profile set up. Have somebody
Yeah.
help you optimize your profile, and then you can start connecting and chatting with us and doing coffee chats and all those fun things that we do
Yeah.
here. Whew, this has been a long morning. Started with my first event at 7 a.m. I think I'm going to take a little time with some
Yeah.
meditate.
Yeah, you've had a wonderful day today. But
But it's
I'm
also
just
11
so,
o'clock.
yeah, I'm really appreciative of when you have me on your show. Linking money to menopause, I think it's something that women don't consider. So thank you for creating this space. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate your time. Well, that's going to do it for us. This is going to end our episode of Wealthy Wednesday. And we're here every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We talk about all things money. And I truly believe that every single one of you, to a person, no matter where you are financially or where you think you're not, you're the one in your family to change your family's last name forever. It is your fiduciary responsibility to step into who you are, to handle your menopause, to make the menopause connection, menopause and money connection, because you're supposed to be wealthy. Somebody's looking towards you and your family. You're the ones that maybe you're the first one in your family to be debt free. Maybe you're the first one in your family to buy a home. I don't know what that is. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a multi-bazillionaire, but you're the first one in your family to change your family's last name forever. And I just believe that that is truly why you're here, because that resonates with you. Because remember, your wealth today should be your dynasty tomorrow. Thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for Team Live. Let us know where you tuned in from. And if you're on Team Replay, let us know where you're tuned in from. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good rest of your Wealthy Wednesday.
Bye.